Yo, she figured
Hello.
it out. Woo-hoo.
I wrote hello like 5 times then. I was like, I don't know what to do.
Did y'all? Oh, you saw it. My bad. Right. So look, I've got this. This is going to be both of our show and tells, okay? Because I walked
Yeah.
past it earlier and I was like, yes, this is what we can show them. So to everyone joining in, it just looks like Lego blocks, doesn't it? But if you look on the back of it, you can see like yellow is involve me. This one green, show me you care. Be bright. Oh yeah, be brief, be bright, be gone. Or blue is give me details. So basically, when did this? 2015 we did this?
Yeah, it must have been now. To be fair, I don't think I was there when I haven't got them blocks, but obviously I did the insights.
Do you want to explain to everyone?
Yeah, so basically we did insights all individually. So it's kind of like a ticky box scenario where they'll ask you questions, and then by the end of it, it'll tell you whether you're basically sunshine yellow, which Alex has. Red is like
Red is more like the fiery character.
the fiery, yeah. Blue is you need a lot of information. So an example, I remember Siobhan Chamberlain, she likes to know a lot of things. And then green is just a happy kind of.
Green is more so like after you do all these questions, like loads and loads of questions. I found it really interesting. I've still got my report. And then basically it sums up what kind of personality you have. And then so how maybe a manager or other players would speak to you. Yeah. What was yours? What did you come out as?
I did it twice. So the first time I did it, I was like motivational red. So red was my highest. And then I was green. And then the other two were quite low. But then when I did it the second time, my yellow went high and my red went a little bit lower. So obviously there was about 4 years in between. So it was interesting to see, obviously, me doing it younger to then maybe just
really interesting,
seeing what happened, a few years down the line. But I think it's great. I think until you do it, you don't realise how accurate it is on what you're like as a person, or and you can kind of compare with other players and you would have understood why they were a certain colour.
Yeah, and it does. It's like it helps you so much to understand other players and how maybe like you need to communicate with them.
Yeah, no, I think it was great. I mean, I think even knowing yourself about what you are and how you maybe might even come across to others, and I think one of the biggest things, especially in a team sport, is getting the best out of each other. And I think that insights was very helpful in knowing how to do that.
I was like sunshine yellow, which means like I'm that bubbly character around everyone in camp, and I was green. Like these were like balanced on mine, and so green is like really caring and earthly and grounded. And so these two, I was hardly red or
I was going to say, you must have had minimal red.
Yeah.
I couldn't really name a time you've been very angry.
Mine kind of goes like this, or maybe yellow on top. That's like my building blocks. But I have them upstairs. I don't even know why. Like they're just there.
Are you a hoarder? Do you keep everything?
I do like interesting things like this with like the detail and the meanings behind it. I do like it. But George, hello, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, she signed a new contract, everyone. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I actually signed it before COVID-19 happened, and obviously it was just making sure it was the right time for them to announce it, and obviously they thought now was a good time just to, for any supporters to see that and hopefully put a smile on someone's face.
You can see the comments coming in. Everyone's smiling about you signing a new contract for Arsenal.
So yeah, no, it was and I love the way they always show it on the media and everything like that. But yeah, it's nice to still be a Gooner, and yeah, it's just a good time.
You know what? Right, let's be open and honest in terms of, because some people, what went into the factors of you saying, okay, yeah, I am going to sign a new contract? Was there you thinking, okay, is it time for a change? Like, we all know you love the club, you've been there 10 years, but that element, do I need to look at other options, or I'm just Arsenal through and through? Like, I don't know.
If I'm being honest, it was actually my last contract that I was like, oh, I'm getting to an age where, you know, I've seen so many other players do it now where they go to another country or they try something then. And I was obviously at a good age where, you know, you're still younger. Whereas I think with this one, it was, you know, it was a little bit different because I'd come back from injury and I was thinking, you know, I'm one of them players, I want to play football, I want to enjoy that. So that was kind of you know, when you're playing at a top club, you want to hope that that's the situation. But I think with Joe being the manager, I think he's just been such a key element in someone you want to play for and someone you know can improve you and put you in the best possible place. So, I mean, I love it anyway. And I think, obviously, when I first joined Arsenal and I saw the likes of you, Kelly Smith, Yanks, Ludlow, like, the most inspiring thing was your passion and how long you'd been there and how, like, you know, Arsenal was everything and like it was just the world to you. And I wanted that. I didn't want to, you know, I wanted to be one of them players that I could maybe even slightly get in that category to be like, I want to be like them players and just show that I've loved this club and I have enjoyed what I've done here. And I think you have to enjoy your football career.
Well, like 10 years, that has flown by, George. Like,
do you remember we had an argument once on the pitch because I was a little gobby 17-year-old just going to Arsenal, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
No, wait, let's tell everyone about that, right? Because, I don't know, we had just come back from America, and I would say that was the difference. Like, we've been in a training environment where literally it's so loud, you like speak to your teammates, you tell them if things are not good enough, or it's just that, like, it's nothing more than just wanting the best out of every single training session. Like, no one's allowed to get away with anything, like everyone just whatever. And then so me and Kel re-signed for Arsenal, and I don't know, we're in that mindset, or like that's how we do it. And I think, do you know what, after the conversation with you, it made me look at myself and make me adjust to, actually, we're not in America anymore. Like, we want those standards, but I need to change my communication. So basically, like, same now, you're like this talented player where everyone knew that you were the next biggest thing, right? And you could see that on the training field. But then I suppose, like, we knew that next level, at senior level, there were things you were doing that you wouldn't get away with. So I remember I used to be that player to you constantly.
Yeah.
Jordan, you need to pass it. Jordan. Da, 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 da. But you, like, because you were young, you thought it was like because I didn't like you. Like, I was that teammate constantly getting on your back. And I remember, like, I felt so bad because you were generally upset by it.
To be fair, I don't remember. I know I was in the wrong whatever had happened because I was a 17-year-old anyway. And obviously I was... you know, but it brought the best out of me. You know, it's you're the players and the reason why you get pushed to a certain level, and you have to kind of be told certain boundaries to get to be, you know, in a better place. Or but I just remember that, and after we had our chat, I was like, oh, I love Alex. Like,
yeah. I was like, I need to go and talk to her. And actually, I remember the conversation. I was like, listen, if I didn't care about you, or I didn't think you were a good player, or that you could be something, I wouldn't be shouting at you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I understand. And then now look at us. I love you.
We're the best.
When you think about those 10 years that have flown by, what have been your standout memories so far?
I always talk about my first memory about kind of getting my Arsenal shirt, because back then, obviously, football, you know, you train twice a week, it wasn't as professional. And I just remember getting coming down with Steph Houghton, because she'd obviously signed at the same time, and Laura Harvey meeting us at a hotel down the road, and just giving, like, Steph and me 2 black bin bags with, like, all of our kit in it, and Steph pulling out number 2 and then me pulling out number 8. And obviously I had no right at that time to get number 8, but I think luckily Kelly had, I don't know what had happened with Kelly's number. You literally just left.
Yeah.
And I think looking back now, it obviously sounds so ridiculous that happened, but that was such a amazing memory for me. And like, even just seeing the journey of that. So that was definitely, getting my shirt was such a, it was obviously so daft thinking about it now, but it was so unbelievable. And I just think other moments are always just like winning the FA Cup for the first time in 2011. Obviously, I'd played for Sunderland the year before that and played against Arsenal and got absolutely hammered by years. Kim scored like an absolute worldie. And then obviously literally a year later playing for Arsenal and then winning it. You know, it's just crazy how times change. And I think every year there's just different memories of winning or playing for a club that you enjoy.
How do you think in those 10 years for you, how have you seen the club develop?
God, it's crazy. I mean, you know, when we first got there, it was like you had a room that you went from 5 till, did we train 5 till 7 or something like that? Was it 5 till 7? We trained on like 3G indoor pitch at the training ground, and then, you know, you just go home.
That's why I've got bad ankles.
Yeah, I know. Thank God we got off that. And then, you know, we did gym at Hearts Uni, which was obviously, you know, not even at the training ground. And then, you know, now we've just got our own hub. We, you know, have the best pitches. We have an absolute amazing gym that is, you know, probably one of the best in the world that we get to use. And I think that's the reason why we've obviously developed and we've had to develop to, you know, staying and around winning at Arsenal. But I mean, the change has just been unbelievable, really. And you can't really take it for granted, you know, looking back to receiving your shirt in a bin bag to,
yeah,
you know, I mean, how it is now.
Do you think in terms of, I don't know, because you've won so much at club level, like what's next for you? Do you set yourself goals or targets?
I mean, I just keep saying to Joe, we've got to get somewhere closer in the Champions League. And I know that obviously it's one of the hardest trophies to win, and no English club's got near that. And it's going to take a lot to get there. But I think that's naturally the one goal I want to do. You know, nothing's kind of made me be like, oh, I want to win the league in another country or anything like that, enough to leave Arsenal. But the Champions League is obviously a goal maybe in the next, you know, hopefully I'm at Arsenal in the next 3, 5, whatever years, you know, to come close to that. I mean, you've obviously experienced that. And
this week, when they put that post up 13 years ago.
Yeah, I know, it's so crazy. Watching you ball back all over the place.
If everyone knows about the story actually behind that goal, I remember before the game we stepped out onto the pitch in Sweden and there was a car in the centre circle, and I remember Emma Byrne, oh, she's gone. Oh, you need to buy one of those phone stands. I'm going to send you one. Yeah, we went out onto the pitch and there was this car in the centre circle, and Emma Byrne and Rachel Yankee was like, if you score the winning goal, you get that car. At the time, I had some like Ford Fiesta that was like broken, and I was like, seriously, that's amazing. Like thinking, like, because back in the day, like women's football, you'd never get prizes like that. And then I remember, obviously, then I scored the bloody goal, and I was like, the first thing I went running to like Emma after the game. I was like, Emma, I've won the car. How are they going to get it back home for me? And then Herman Yanks just laughing at me. It was like,
she had to let you down, like, oh God.
Yeah, she was like, Al, sorry to let you down, sorry to tell you, but we were actually joking. And there was me, I was heartbroken thinking I've got this car that I was going to be like driving around in.
I mean, I'd take the Champions League trophy. It's not a bad one.
Yeah, to be fair, at least I've got that still. But in terms of, you know what, because I heard Emma Hayes talking earlier, and that is the goal. She was obviously our assistant then, and she's talking about building a Chelsea squad that they think can win the Champions League. What more do you think Arsenal need to be challenging and really, like, you being confident to be like, we're going to win Champions League?
I would probably say, obviously we've got injuries at the moment, but I think probably a bit of a bigger squad. And I think also when you look at the teams that win it, you know, they're so fit, they're strong, they've got power. And I think we just need that collective kind of team, really. I mean, we haven't won it for a reason, so that, you know, there's things that needs to be changed and adapted. But I think when we've got our best team fit, whether that's, you know, looking at the recovery side of things, you know, are we doing everything possible, or have we just had bad luck? But we obviously haven't gone to that next level yet.
Do you think, like, do you ever have those days? Because, like, I look at you as one of those players that I just want to wrap up in cotton wool. Because when I look back at the injuries that you've had and when you've had it, I'm just like, oh, God, give the girl a break. Have you ever thought like that? Like, when you found out about your ACL, what was your first reaction?
Yeah, missing the World Cup, obviously, was my first reaction. And I think, obviously, 2 of my injuries have come at the worst possible time because, you know, so many people have gone through these injuries, and maybe, you know, not that I don't want to miss a season at Arsenal, but if I miss a season at Arsenal, I've, you know, had another 8 that I've really enjoyed. Whereas tournament football, I think, unfortunately, the women's game is still at a place where if you don't play in major tournaments, you know, you naturally aren't seen as a world-class player or put on that pedestal. And I kind of feel like that's been took under my feet a little bit, whereas I feel like maybe if I'd have had them opportunities, I might be more, I don't know, well known or looked at as a top player. So I think that's been the difficult thing, you know, shining on a world stage. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you can't help.
You might be like, because when we had Kel on the other day, like, I know how much that 2007 World Cup meant to Kelly. For those reasons, she had waited, and everyone was talking about her being the best player in the world. And exactly like you said, until you play on the world stage against the best, you can't be put into that bracket. And that was always her frustration. So then when she did get to the 2007 World Cup, it was just like she was someone on a mission to, like, do the best she can to showcase her talent.
Yeah. No, I mean, touch wood, if I go to a tournament, I think, you know, I'll be doing whatever the hell I can to perform on the pitch. But yeah, it's just difficult time with football. And I mean, even Kelly's been through so many injuries. And I mean, when you look at everyone, that, you know, loads of players have missed out. I know Steph missed a World Cup and things like that. And obviously, me being injured at the last one, the mental strength of being an injured player at a tournament, I just really, really struggled with that. So when I did my knee, the only thought going through my head was, I don't want to go half Jordan Nobbs to another tournament, because it was really, really tough mentally, actually being, you know, not fit there. So you need your head to be in the right place. And obviously I want to do whatever I can to just be at a major tournament, even if it's one that I need to just try and shine on.
I suppose that's the hard thing as well. I suppose, like, away, when you're in that bubble, like, you know that you're not at 100%, but you're still being asked to do a job for the team. And the frustrating thing from a player's perspective, so when we go back to 2015, like, what, you then played in the Cameroon game?
Actually made it work. Cameroon or Colombia?
Yeah. Was it Colombia?
I think it's Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I played in that, obviously my hamstring was absolutely buggered. And I remember 20 minutes in, I went to the dugout and I said to Ritan, I need some painkillers, like, I can't sprint.
Yeah.
And, you know, I played a whole 90 minutes and, you know, I was just in absolute agony when I got off the pitch. And, you know, it's just not healthy sometimes. But obviously we're footballers, and like you experienced when I was 17 and I was a little bit gobby. I'm a very passionate player, and, you know, I would, you know, naturally you dedicate your whole life to football, and I would do anything to, you know, be on a football pitch, you know, even with one leg. So, yeah, it's just, you got to weigh up the pros and cons of you really.
Do you think you're hitting peak condition again now? Like, you've had your injury, you've come back, like, where are you at the moment?
I reckon just before the She Believes, I felt a lot better. It has been tough. I think when you're like 20 minutes in, 45 minutes in, and your fitness and everything like that, and mentality, I think I'm probably like 80%. I think I've still got a bit of a push to go, but I think that's a bit more consistent game time, really. You know, just getting used to playing 90 minutes every week, and you're getting your awareness back. But yeah, I felt like in She Believes, I felt a bit more of like, I want to be on the pitch and I want to be tackling and everything like that.
Do you know what? I've just looked at the time and we've only actually even got 5 minutes left, and I've not read any questions from anyone. Oh my goodness, George, we're going to have you back and like do a proper one because it's been too short.
Sorry, I was chatting away.
Okay, let me do some of these questions for you. Carly.Davis, 7927, just get that bit in. Who was your idol growing up?
My dad was my idol, and Steven Gerrard. I thought his passion and loving football was just amazing. And my dad, he's been my rock throughout football.
Do you think having your dad, who was involved in football, knew it, really helped your development?
Yeah, I would say the best thing about what my dad used to do was when I was younger and I was, say, playing 7-a-side football, he was like, Jordan, you need to start playing 11-a-side. So then he took me out of that team, even though obviously, you know, you're naturally like, oh, Dad, do I need to do that? But he then put me in, you know, he always pushed me to the next level at the right time. And I think that was because of his experience in football, and it obviously developed me, you know, maybe a little bit quicker or better in that sense. I think you need that direction as a kid.
That's where I went wrong. My mum, I swear she doesn't see the side roll. So, Mum, I'm just outed you. Okay, this one is Flo Mooney. If you could sign one player for Arsenal, this is a good question. If you could sign one player for Arsenal, who would it be and why?
I would sign Marizanne, I think. I think her technical gift. I mean, yeah, I'd like to sign Marizanne. I think she's a top quality player. Yeah, just technique and everything. I think she's, be a good Arsenal player.
Can you not just get Joe on it? Drop Joe a line now, because isn't like the rumour she's going over to the NWSL? Get her over to England.
I know. What is she doing? Come to the UK. Yes,
get her in Arsenal shirt. No other shirt but Arsenal. This one is Kylie Beachburger. Don't know if that's right. In your 10 years at Arsenal, what has been the most interesting change you have seen?
I don't know how to summarise that, really. I'd say probably everything's changed when it comes to pitches. Probably facilities, I would say, is the main thing. Allowing us to play and train and develop ourselves in strength work or power or everything like that. I think that's been the main thing.
Okay. Next one. Ooh. Chloe Riley, 17. Who came up with the celebration at the 2015 World Cup? You or Lucy?
I think it was Lucy, but I kept saying to Lucy, you're going to score some goals this tournament. Like, Lucy was my rock at that tournament. And I remember we just said, let's have a handshake for when you score. Because I kept saying to Lucy, you're going to score, you're going to score. And then she scored like worldies and all sorts. And I thought, obviously it became a lucky charm after that. And
who actually came up with the shake or whatever it was, though?
The actual handshake?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of both, but Lucy has the brains, doesn't she? She came up with 90%. I reckon I just came up with a bit at the end.
Contribution, it all matters.
I know.
Do you know what? If you could go back, looking through your career already, go back and replay one match, what one would it be?
That's a hard question. I'd probably replay the FA Cup against Chelsea recently. Lost my brain.
Wait, was that 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just any time we don't win a trophy, really, I'd like to replay all of them, really.
That's a good one, because I think that was my last FA Cup final.
Was it?
Yeah. It's gutting.
Yeah.
That's all good. Wait, one question about quarantine. What's one hard thing and one positive that you've taken from this time?
Hard thing, just doing nothing. Like, I love eating out, going into London, or just, yeah, playing football. That's been the hardest, I think, just getting quite lethargic. The best thing has been I've had a quiz night with my friends from home every Friday, and I've never seen or spoke to them so much. And yeah, I just took the positives of being around my family and speaking to my friends so much more. It's been nice to have them, you know, and just hope everyone stays safe.
Okay, then one last question then, because you've just spoken about food. I can't wait to go and eat my dinner. My mum's having a barbecue and yeah, everyone gets it. You know, I've got some soup. What's your go-to? So when lockdown is over, quarantine's finished, what is your first food that you're going to be going out for?
Probably Japanese or something like that.
Yeah. Jordan,
Something,
I'm going to take
something
you.
I can't cook at home.
I'll take you. I'll be there with you.
Yeah, okay. I look forward to it.
Okay, right. That is it. It's all over. Look, it's flown by. I will say goodbye. Do you want to say anything to everyone tuning in? Because they all tuned in for you, not me.
Thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone is safe, and thank you to the NHS for everything you are doing.
Clap for care. It's 8 o'clock. George, love ya.
Love you too.
Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.